I'd love to hear, how do you balance that dynamic of being a business owner, running a practice, but also being a father in the office? I'd love to hear kind of how that dynamic works, how you balance that. But also, you talked about Dr. Jordan is going to take over the business. Everything goes to plan. He'll be taking over the business down the road. What are you doing to prepare him for that transition of business down the road?
You know how my office is set up. So myself and one of our associates adjust on one side. We've been adjusting next to each other, Dr. Amber and I, for 12 years. And then you look across to the other side, it's a big open adjusting area with an active therapy department. My son and Dr. Andrew adjust literally 30 feet from me, 40 feet from me. So it's really cool, especially when we first came on, to see my son, gives me the chills talking about it, to see my son adjusting patients. And what's even cooler is he's a better caring chiropractor than I am. He's so awesome with the kids in the practice. He has 3 of his own. He's an awesome wife that they're high school sweethearts. So I'm a GPA, so no grandpa here, but GPA. So I'm a GPA already. I have almost a 6, I have a 6, a 4, and an almost 2-year-old grandkids, and they're just awesome. They live 10 minutes from me. So that's what's cool. But I think, that respect factor is, we couldn't work together if he didn't respect the success that I've had and want to learn from them, right? We see the families that butt heads and having families together, and I had the pleasure of meeting your son, Steve, and I saw the respect you two had for each other. It reminded me of my son and I, because there's a respect factor that I'll say, oh, you know what? So we've put Dr. Jordan, that's my son, he's in charge of our marketing this year. The reason why is because I've been working with him for the last couple of years. I had to teach him how to be a doctor first, how to take care of patients, how to adjust patients, how to put care plans together, how to treat patients, and so forth for the last few years. Now the next iteration is you need to learn how to market. You need to learn how to attract. Because if you can't attract patients, you can't keep in business. So now he's our marketing. So he handles all the marketing, and then I meet with him once a month at our house on Tuesdays, and we do a 2-hour leadership meeting with him. My wife and I talk about the business, where things are at, look through P&Ls and things like that. But what we also have done is we put a leadership team together at the office. So it's all 5 doctors, including my wife. And then we have a COO of the practice and training taking over some of the responsibilities for my wife, because when I go, my wife's going to go someday, right? And she's our COO. So we have a COO in training so that they can link up with Jordan. So there's a success path and legacy play that's in that practice. So it's not like, okay, Jordan, here's the practice. Good luck, man. Awesome. Here we go. That would be really easy if he wasn't my son, right? I mean, if it wasn't my son in my practice, I'd probably sell 2, 3, 4 years down the road, walk away with nice cash. I've been doing well otherwise, and I'd go, continue to coach and do recruiting, but it's my son. So that means a lot more to me in that practice because it's my son, right? So I need to leave it ready to be flowing. I don't want it to crash. I mean, he's flying a 757 or a 747. I don't know much about jets, but a big plane right now. It's a big office. So he needs to be trained in how to run that. I'm not teaching him everything. I have next year, so we have a CEO program in the Remarkable Practice. So we have CEO masterminds. We're teaching traction. It's a whole year period of time, every other week, 1-hour masterminds. We teach them what's called the CTS, Chiropractic Transformation System. It's 6 months of teaching them the mindset of a business owner. And then we go into COS, which is the Chiropractic Operating System, which we teach them the operating tools, organizational charts, accountability charts, scoreboards, scorecards, KPIs, and so forth. I'm putting my son into one of those CEO groups next year, but not with me. I'm going to put him in with one of our other coaches, Dr. Pete, and I want Dr. Pete to teach him that part of it, because my son hears from me all the time. He needs to hear it from somebody else, and when it's coming from somebody else, not that he wouldn't do it already, because he's just awesome and he would do it, but he's going to do it better when he's hearing it from somebody else. I think that's going to be that next iteration that he's going to need for the leadership inside of our practice.